I flooded down there, and then my family said, well, you ain't going to flood by yourself, so, just come right on up the road and got them, too.
Most of Wendell Kinman's family lives in Prestonville. In-laws, cousins, and nephews, all casualties in the flood of '97.
One guy said he lost hope. He wants to have hope, and then he lost it all. I ain't losing that. We got to build it back, and we will.
Kinman hasn't seen his house since Thursday, just after the crest. Today, he's optimistic.
My kids are healthy, my wife's healthy, I'm healthy. That's all you need. If you got that, you got everything.
As we approach his flooded home, Kinman's optimism turns to sudden despair.
I was hoping that wouldn't happen. Yeah, it did. Look at the roof, it's buckled. Doggone it. Didn't think it'd move. See where my roof is buckled up there? It's going to hurt my wife, too.
Kinman now thinks the main part of his house is destroyed.
Well, I thought I had this under control. But I don't. They say about every 30 years you have a big flood, so I doubt whether I'll see the next one. Water might be washing my ashes away or something.
Still, this is where Kinman will stay.
This is home. It's kind of hard to leave home.
In Aurora, Indiana, Deborah Dixon looks at how folks found themselves coming together for a Saturday of cleanup.
The flood cleanup formula includes pumps, power washers, and people. They came by busloads to help bring back downtown Aurora. Kim Jacobs is a dealer at the nearby Grand Victoria Casino.
Just ready to help, whatever they need us to do. We have a lot of employees that live here and a lot of friends.
Clorox gloves and brooms are the tools of the volunteer, but it takes more than that to scrub away a muddy flood line on a wall. It takes determination. Everything once covered by swirling river water needs to be disinfected. It will take a week before the Lions, Tigers, and mostly Bears toy store can reopen.
Very patient, consistent, and just keep on going. So you can't give up. And there's a lot of volunteers in town right now, and they're really helping us out.
One trick to river water cleanup is to stay one step ahead of this mud. There's really nothing like it. You got to hose it down and get rid of it before it dries, because then it doesn't go anywhere. River City residents seem to understand the power of the river and respect it, challenging it only when one can win. The Coach Light Inn did just that. Even with water at its doorstep and 4 pumps going in the basement, the restaurant stayed open.
My next step is to get the hot water heater working, and then we'll do the soft drink, refrigerated soft drinks, carbonation, and then we should be back to 100%.
Danny McGraw adds another flood mark to the basement of the 104-year-old building. The flood of 1997 still falls short of the 1964 mark.
We've survived a lot of floods, the community has over the years, and I don't think anybody's going to move out because of it. It's just one of the things that you survive, you go through, and you go on.
For years, Coach Light Inn patrons have looked at the building in historic flood pictures. 1884, 1937, 1964. They look and try to imagine. They don't have to imagine anymore.
Meanwhile, back here in Falmouth, Gwen Ellis found the uphill battle continuing.
The power washer can rinse away the mud, but it can't erase the sadness the Conrads feel about their family business, a hardware/furniture store his father bought when he was 5.
I've always worked 75-hour weeks and don't mind it. I like it. It's all I've ever wanted to do, run a hardware store. I might not get to.
Now, the chimes they sell remind them of the night they fought the Licking River and lost.
Some of the businesses in town have suffered the same type of structural damage the homes have. In fact, they've been rocked right off their foundations.
Now they're knocking down, throwing out, and scraping off all across town. The DQ promises to be okay.
It's been all the way to the ceiling, but we'll come back. We'll be back. Don't worry about the dairy cleaning. We'll be back.
Even insurance companies couldn't stop the act of nature. Neither could churches. The Falmouth United Methodist congregation now houses waterlogged pews.
Whatever message you get from the waters, the message of Christianity is God is with us in the flesh, God incarnate, and we see God at work with the people coming from all over.
The inspiration from volunteers is boosting the morale of the faithful, including a couple who own a family store. They now believe they can indeed rise from the dust.
As heavy rainfall fell on Sunday afternoon, the heavy equipment was out in New Richmond, Ohio, which has paid a heavy price in the early days of the flood. Like in so many communities, there was little to do but pile lost possessions on the side of the road. In Newtown, pumps were working overtime. This community has seen flooding created by backflow from the Ohio River, not the neighboring Little Miami. And in Pendleton County, Kentucky, Cheryl Case found folks trying to find a bit of humor whenever possible.
I found Billy's diploma from high school. We know he graduated now.
It was a day of discovery in Falmouth. Items tucked away for safekeeping, now among the few things salvaged from the flood of '97. In the downtown business district, volunteers salvage what they can from a shoe store.
I think we got a pair. All right.
It is difficult to comprehend or communicate the loss here.
That's what I got left.
One might consider renaming this town along the Licking River, for it will never be what it was.
When you look at what you had and you think about what you got, I don't know if there'll ever be another up moment.
As afternoon rains move in, these residents know they will never look at showers like this ever again.
Is it going to come back up? Is it going to come back after what it left, or come back to get the rest of what it didn't take?
3/4 of an inch of rain would not be enough for more flooding. So finally, by Monday, March the 10th, the Ohio River would finally fall back to flood stage. Rob and Kid are standing by with a look at what a difference a few days will make.